Hi, WOFO. My name is Silvia Lizama, and welcome to my home. So this is my hallway of photos. It's my family archive somewhat. I have my husband's side on the left and my side on the right. So there is some method to the madness, but it's just us, our lives growing up, as when we came from Cuba, my grandparents, my mom and my dad with my sisters. Here in this particular image, my mother's pregnant with me, so I'm actually in there, but subtle. My grandfather was a writer for the Diario de la Marina. Then he passed away when my mother was young. My grandmother then ended up taking over, writing for his columns, also started a magazine called Grafos, and did the social directory for Cuba. This was a picture of my mom and her sister. This was a comb from my grandmother that was made out of bone that came from Cuba, and that was very special to me. So I have it here to always remind me of her. This was also hers, and my grandmother's. Those are the two things I got in my inheritance. And then I hand colored for a picture. I found a picture of my mother and my father when they were very young, and so I hand colored them both and gave this as gifts to my sisters. Our things from Cuba are photographs, and some of them came 15, 20 years after we had left Cuba, and people would bring them. All right, and so now follow me and I'll take you out to my studio. All right, you need good light so that you can see what you're doing. I use Marshall's photo oils. These oils were the same oils that were used when there was no color photography. And so what I do is I apply the oils right on the surface of the paper. And then I just spread it around. You do always background first. And you don't have to worry too much about the detail. These oils are very forgiving. And you take either cotton or I use toilet paper. It actually works great just to spread it. And I don't have to worry about corners or anything. If I now want to put on a different color, I apply a tiny bit on like this. And I don't have to worry about staying in the lines just yet. That's detail work that I do at the end. But first I apply overall color. And the beauty of these oils is they're transparent, especially made for photographs. And little by little you start seeing it come to life. My inspiration for many, many things that I do. In fact, my husband, wait, is it this one? No. My husband gave me a book one time that was called, the actual title of the book was Really Boring Postcards. And I looked at it and it looked exactly like my work. It was exactly what I was doing, just empty rooms with a bed and a chair and a TV, and it was just old motel rooms. Anyway, I did enjoy seeing that book, and I thought, all right, this is somewhere in the back of my head, this is the type of work I do. So one of the things that I love about photography is that it does capture a moment. Even though my moments are still, it's a moment in time. And so these particular, I just showed this one, but this was a place called Riverside Military Academy, and it was about to be demolished. And as soon as I hear the word it's going to be demolished, I know it's not going to be there anymore, and I want to go there and I want to document it. So I did a lot of that. That was a lot of my inspiration in the beginning, things that were going through change, through construction, through demolition. I found that no one else could capture this moment after me. And so it seems like desolate, but these were the rooms that the military academy kids used to stay in here in Hollywood. and it's no longer there. The wrecking ball was there within a day or two. Construction sites were part of my world for many, many years, like 10, 15 years. I did this particular series where as I'm driving through I-95 and the columns and the structures just look otherworldly. It looked like places in time. So I don't photograph people. Many times I had to go Sunday mornings very early when construction workers weren't there, just to document the spaces. One of my trips, I was with Mario Gazzi, a photographer, and we were in Manaus, Brazil. And I'm driving in a taxi cab and I see hundreds of people out on the streets trying to jam-pack themselves into this tiny little barber shop. So I asked the taxi driver and he said, oh, it's a big soccer championship. Huge deal. I had no idea. The next day I go in and I see this tiny little TV sitting on a barber chair with all these wires. And that's what those hundreds of people were sitting there watching, all of them. That was the only place with a TV. And I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. I mean, I love TV, that's my world. So I started a TV series of TVs in unusual spaces. About 10 years ago, I had traveled to Italy and I'm going through Rome and Venice and I'm thinking, these places are unbelievable and they have these beautiful statues. And I get home and I'm sitting here thinking, we have those statues too. And here in Hollywood, where I've been for the last 40 years almost, I started a series called Lions, Fountains, and Statues. I did this in a circle, first time, a little bit as an homage to George Eastman, whose first photographs with a brownie were done in circles. So I photographed it in black and white, and then I hand colored it, so you can see the difference. Some people are fine with black and white. I love black and white photography. I just don't do it myself. I print it and then I spend the time to color it. Don't ask me why. That one I haven't figured out, other than I enjoy doing it. And I love the final product and kind of how it's your memory that's kind of giving you the colors. It's not, and a feeling. It's not the reality per se, but in the 1940s, and 30s and 20s, when hand coloring started in the week after photography was invented. I mean, immediately they started putting powdered pigments on daguerreotypes and tintypes because they wanted to add a little life. It was no longer really reality, but either is a black and white. It's not real either. So I did 45 lions, fountains, and statues. Again, just to document our world here, which is familiar to us and familiar to me, but not familiar to people up north or familiar to people in Europe. It's unique to our space. Anyway, this is a lifetime of work here, of what's left of my work anyway.